The Cavaliers versus Thunder game lived up to the hype that everybody was expecting it to. What's next for both of these teams? Is this a matchup we can expect in the NBA Finals? And who's going to win their next game? January 16th. That's in like a week from now. Casuals only. Let's get it. If you're living under a rock or just not tapped in with the NBA like everybody else is, last night was probably the game of the year. I don't want to go ahead and say that necessarily, but there's a chance that last night's game between the Cavaliers and the Thunder was possibly the game of the year. Some of the stats are the reason this game was so hyped up are absolutely insane. This is just the third time in NBA history that two teams have started a season with 30 or more wins in its first 35 games. Going into the game, the Cavs haven't lost to a Western Conference team, and the Thunder have never lost to an Eastern Conference team literally until last night when the Cavaliers beat the Thunder and gave them their first loss to the opposing conference. The Cavs 25-1, now 26-1 when Dean Wade plays. The Thunder were 19-1 when Isaiah Hartenstein plays, now 19-2. It was a matchup of just two of the best teams in opposite sides of the game, where the Thunder have the best defense in the NBA and the Cavaliers the best offense in the NBA. And we got to see two of the literal best at what they do go head to head for 48 minutes last night. The Thunder have the number one defense versus top 10 offenses, and the Cavaliers have the number one offense versus top 10 defenses. Literally the absolute best at what they do. The reason I think that I can say this may be a finals matchup, I mean, the Celtics are obviously there, but this is my choice for a finals matchup. A, that game was so fun to watch, and if I can get 7 more of those, I would love that. But B, listen to this. 22 teams before this season have won 30 of their first 35 games. 19 of them have made the conference finals. 13 have won the title. 13 of those 22 have won the title. And we have 2 of those. I don't know if that's accurate, as in 22, including the Cavaliers and Thunder of this year. If not, then that's 24. But if it is, 13 have went on to win the championship. So there's a very good chance that one of, if not both of these teams at least makes the finals. But one of these teams will probably most likely come away an NBA champion. And you can't count out, obviously, the Boston Celtics, who are right up there as a favorite to win it all. I mean, they're coming off winning a championship last year. They're defending champions. They have some of the best players in the league, one of the best defenses, one of the best offenses. Once again, they fit into the category of the Thunder and Cavaliers teams just as well. But here's some takeaways from the game last night. I'm looking at a Yahoo article just to kind of boost my memory of what happened last night. But I do know that Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley absolutely dominated Isaiah Hartenstein. And it stinks because Isaiah Hartenstein is the one and only big they really have. Jalen Williams doesn't really play like that. And obviously Chet Holmgren is out for a while still. He's been out for a couple months. I think he still has another month, possibly, if not more, of time to miss. And that's really going to hurt the Cavaliers. Obviously not, or sorry, the Thunder, but obviously not against bad teams. Like, it's not going to hurt them against the Blazers, any other team in the league that's not the Cavs or the Celtics or the top 5 teams in the league. And specifically against the Cavaliers, a team that just dominates with the Twin Towers down below. Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley had an insane game. Evan Mobley, what did he finish with? 21 points and 10 boards. And Jarrett Allen finished with 25 points, 12 boards, and 6 assists. So when you have players like Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley, who aren't your number 1 or 2 scoring options, can both go off for 20 plus and 10 plus boards, that takes the weight off of Donovan Mitchell's shoulders, where he can have a night like he did last night. What did he have? 11 points or 13 points or something like that? Where is it? He went 3 for 16 from the floor and finished with 11 points. Absolutely crazy. And the fact that they were able to pull out this win against so-called the best team in the NBA, second best team in the NBA, that's absolutely huge, man. Absolutely huge. And a lot of that goes on to the fact that their bigs completely dominated that game. And Isaiah Hartenstein had a really good game as well. 18 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. He had a great game. But you need somebody who's going to back up Isaiah Hartenstein, or somebody that can play with Isaiah Hartenstein out there. Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein can be some sort of a form of Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley. Now, I'm not saying that's a perfect 100% comparison, but that would have helped them last night. And the Thunder, with Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein on the floor, have a chance to be a really big team as well. Shea's a big guard. Lou Dort, pretty solid sized. He's muscular as shit, though. Jalen Williams is already playing the 4. You move him to a 3. That's a big lineup with Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein rounding it out. That's a lineup that can 100% match up with this Cavaliers team, especially because the Cavaliers guards are undersized compared to those Thunder guards. And once again, it's a tale of just missing out on players for the Thunder. Chet and Alex Caruso both missing this game, which would have definitely 100% helped them and given them a better chance to win. I think that in this next matchup on January 16th, I have the Thunder winning it, and I predict it's going to be more than 10 points. I think the Thunder are going to come out and show who the Thunder actually are, but there's a chance that you do get a night where Donovan Mitchell goes absolutely insane. And if that happens, it's going to be a really tough night because they had to play the Cavaliers pretty much without Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell went 3 for 16 or something like that. 3 for 16 from the floor for 11 points, 0 for 6 from 3 until he finally hit that. Or no, he was 0 for 6 until getting his first points, a minute and 53 seconds left in the first half. And he finally hit a 3-pointer late in that second half. You get some of these players back. You get the full star potential we expect from Donovan Mitchell. This game and this series and this matchup has so much potential to be even better than it actually was. That fourth quarter was a great fourth quarter. That third quarter was a 43-41 quarter, just an absolute anomaly. And every other quarter after that was just dominated with defense. But that third quarter was just pure shot making to the best of everybody's abilities. So I just want to touch on some of the points from this article that I haven't talked about yet. SGA understanding his responsibility. Obviously, SGA had a very decent game, honestly. I thought it could have been better. 31 points on 27 shots is rough, but 31 points against the Cavaliers in a game like that with the magnitude is something you love to see, especially from an MVP leader like this and somebody you want to lead you through a deep postseason run. Once again, I thought he had a solid night. 31 points on 27 shots isn't amazing, but I also thought he forced a lot of threes, and that's something that Shea doesn't need to do. He can get to his mid-range bag. He can get to the bucket. He can facilitate for other players and play make around the court. Forcing the threes that he did force in a game like this is something that he's just going to learn from, in my opinion. Cavs utilizing depth, had a lot of depth, man. Ty Jerome had a lot of impact on that game last night, the way he was able to just run the offense without Darius Garland or Donovan Mitchell on the court. It was fun to watch. Ty Jerome, Karis LeVert, Max Strus, Georges Niang, a lot of amazing floor spacers and just quality minutes from the bench. Like I said, Strus had a great game. 5 triples, 17 points. Exactly the type of game that you would like to see from him, especially picking up the slack from Donovan Mitchell. OKC could use Chet Holmgren. We talked about this. Evan Mobley elevating. Him and Jarrett Allen both had a great game. Jalen Williams hit 29 last night, 25 last night, 9 assists. Hot start. Jalen Williams was really good. Those are the two guys for the Thunder. Once they get Chet back once again, that team is going to be really tough to beat. It's going to be really tough to beat. Donovan Mitchell, like I said, had a bad game. We talked about this. 16 shots, 11 points. Didn't look great whatsoever, but the fact that his team is so good around him to help him pick up that slack, 17 from Max Strus, is exactly what you like to look for, what you like to see. Darius Garland is back. Garland had a good game. Garland had a really good game. How many assists did he had? 7 assists, but I feel like even for some of the passes that weren't assists, he was able just to find guys, run the offense, and make plays. Even if the plays don't result in another assist to 8, 9, 10 assists, the playmaking that he does do allows other players to get those assists, allows other players to get to the rack, or allows other players to get a shot fake and create for another player. And that's what goes into playmaking. It's not all just the number of assists you get. He had 18 points. He looked really good. SGA, a lot like MJ. I'm just going to skip over that. Jarrett Allen, we talked about Jarrett Allen, had a really good game. 25 points, 12 boards, 6 assists. Great game. In general, the game was a really good game. I'm looking forward to that January 16th matchup. I'm looking forward to the NBA Finals. I would love to see these two teams face against each other. I thought the vibes and the aura was really high. Sometimes you watch an NBA game and I get this little, maybe it's fake, maybe it's for entertainment kind of thing. It felt like those dudes wanted it. It felt like those dudes were hooping, and it was a lot of fun to watch. That's something I would love to see in January or in June for the NBA Finals. I would love to see the Cavaliers and the Thunder in the NBA Finals. If that's something you agree with, if you guys had a good time watching last night's game, let me know. Of course, casuals only. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you January 16th for another matchup of the Cavs and Thunder.